Welcome to Tender Heart. You must have heard many times about karma, how the energy you out into the universe always comes back to you, whether good or bad. This story is the perfect example of how doing good and being helpful without motives is always rewarded. But before we continue this story, if you are new here, make sure to subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon so you get updated every time we post new videos. With that said, let's dive right into it. There was a man in the far north walking through a forest when he saw a huge wolf who was stuck in a trap. She looked exhausted and had swollen nipples, meaning that she had recently given birth, so her hungry pups were probably somewhere nearby. Despite being terrified, the man tried going close, but she did not let him. So he started looking for the pups instead. He went near the wolf den and made a weak wolf-like howl, hoping that one of the babies would come out. After the third howl, the pups come out, and the man quickly put all of them into a bag. He went back to the wolf mom, who immediately smelled her pups and stood up. As soon as the man freed them, then they joyfully ran to the wounded mother and started sucking her milk. The man found a dead deer nearby and fed the she-wolf. Once done, he set up a campsite and stayed there for the night. In the morning, he woke up to find the pups licking and sniffing his face playfully. The wolf watched this with excitement, and so the man thought to gain her confidence. He talked to her for hours, fed her, and slowly began to approach her. The wolf this time allowed him to get closer. When he did not see her protest, he wrapped a blanket on his hand and sat next to her and put his hand on the wolf's injured leg. He was finally able to release her from the trap and let her free to take her pups and leave. But she surprisingly didn't. Instead, she came up to him and began licking his hands, signaling him to come with her. She took him deep into the forest to a plain with a beautiful lake where many more wolf packs were present. They were greeted with howls of happiness. The man soon made himself a fire and pitched a tent there. He did not feel afraid of the wolves at all. He spoke up the next day and was getting ready to leave when he saw that the wolf and her little pups were looking at him go, as if giving him a goodbye. He waved and was answered with a long, mournful howl, after which he left. 4 years later, the man was again in the forest and returned to the same place. He saw that the trap from that day was still there, hung from the same tree where he had left it so many years ago. Memories flooded over the man, and he decided to go visit that very plain where he had seen the she-wolf and her pups for the last time. But as he reached there, all he saw was a huge bear near the lake, who instantly smelled a human and rushed to him, frightening him to the core and making him climb to the top of a tree to save himself. But to his utter dismay, the bear started climbing the tree to hunt him down. The man brought his hands to his mouth and tried making a wolf howl several times. The man was preparing for the worst fate of his life when suddenly something made the bear look back and descend from the tree from the side of the lake. The man then saw something that shocked him. There were huge wolves approaching them with their sharp teeth on the show and snarling awfully at the bear. They tackled and chased the bear away from the plain, and then all of them left too, except one. The wolf, who had stayed back, was looking at the man intently, and that's when he realized it was the same wolf that he saved 4 years ago from the trap. She had returned his niceness by saving his life this time. He was shocked. He soon left the forest and never returned there again. But for the rest of his life, he would remember that the wolf pack and what they did for him. What do you think of this story? Tell us in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and like the channel too. I'll see you in the next video with more exciting topics. See ya!